the Chesapeake Today Show. It's your executive director, David Loop.
And
And with me for the first time is
Candace Montgomery, Life Enrichment Director.
fantastic. Wow, I am privileged to now be with Candace. First of all, congratulations on your new role.
Thank you.
And of course, the first thing I observed was you got in. Always appropriate to get comfortable in your office. Looks like you moved some things around, tidied it up.
Yes, definitely.
Saw some personality rise on your walls, some pictures.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes.
So now you've got to get accustomed. You're not walking into the fitness center in the morning. You're going to have to walk a different direction.
You should have seen me Monday morning. It was so hard to not turn that corner like I always do. Like, okay, focus on walking forward. It's those little things. You just get into such a habit that it really took a lot to come
Yeah.
across the way here.
Yeah. So I do something. Not that I've moved my office around here, but I do park in different spots. So I'll
Okay.
sometimes park here, and then, and of course, when construction goes on, it really
Right.
tosses me in a different direction. But you know, I'm a creature of habit many, many times, but sometimes I try to personally break it. So that's a reality.
That's good.
So, I guess, why don't we? Just right off the top here, and again, I don't know if we remember which episode this is. I want to say
109th is today.
109th. All right, so we're putting this down in history because this woman is going to be doing dozens, hundreds of these into the future.
Oh, yes.
So anyways, so our 109th episode, which is pretty amazing that we're now well into the second year. That's just startling. But you're putting your signature on this one. But to really put your signature on, first of all, yes, we're going to talk loud because the Raptors are flying today. So as we record this, it's really, we love our area. But to put your signature on it, let's just, I know, first, reflections. You're originally from this area?
Yes. Born and raised.
Your high school?
Went to Bethel Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a Fox Hillian from Fox Hill, if you're familiar with that.
Okay.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you met your significant where?
High school.
Aha.
Yeah, we've been together since high school. So, yeah.
And I know you have your son, and his name is
Clint.
Clint.
Just turned 4
And
in May.
it's just like, because it's about you were pregnant when I started, or thereabouts, because I've been here 5 years.
Yeah, it's about the time.
So I've witnessed with that little guy. Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know. Time goes by so fast.
So, and then of course all the residents know your four-legged friend.
Yes. They ask more about Bucky than they do about Clint, so their priorities are really,
Isn't
with
that
the animal.
fascinating? Yeah. Well, it's because residents see Bucky a lot more than
Yes,
Clint.
They do.
But I'm sure with the fact, and I will say this when I see him next, just the changes.
Oh,
It's just
definitely.
exponential.
Oh my gosh, yes. Every day is something different.
Good.
Yeah.
So we know that you started working here in therapy.
Yeah.
So you were actually working with one of our contract therapists at the time?
Well, when I first started, I was actually an intern.
Okay.
And then they ended up hiring me on as the rehab tech, and then I transitioned to the program coordinator. And so, yeah, I've been here since 2015
And
in
from
different roles.
so in that therapy role, then you went and joined Chesapeake team
Mm-hmm.
and working within the fitness department.
Mm-hmm.
So did that for how long?
2 years.
And then had the progression to working with NIFS,
Yes.
Director of Fitness.
And then back with the Chesapeake now.
That's right. Well, I'm sure residents will agree with me. We just stay here a long time now.
Yes.
And I compliment you, Candace, when you, not only did you do all of that with being a mother, et cetera, you got your master's degree.
Definitely.
Very impressive. So where did you get that from?
St. Leo, it's based out of Florida,
Mhm.
so accomplished that online, which was great because I was still able to work and do that. So
Yeah.
balance all of those things at once could be interesting at times, but very happy that I saw it through and finished
Good.
that. Yeah.
Real fine.
Mhm.
Well, as we get introduced and acclimated in doing this together, we're also, I think it's a good opportunity for us to put out there not only a reflection on what we have accomplished in these well over 100 episodes, but to get feedback from all of you. What would you like to see into the future? Because there's a lot of possibilities and potential. One of the things we know, and several will remind us, we will be upgrading technologies. We had worked with for a while some successful microphones, and then all of a sudden they're not talking with our tablet. So we know that is one thing that will happen immediately.
Definitely.
So again, a Raptor flying over, hear the jet engine, and I have to talk louder. So that's number one. I think the interviews have been fun. So have you've heard and seen, and you were interviewed before.
For sure.
So that's all good. I think sometimes we can even do some roving, and we may be able to add some footage, so that's possible. So those will occur, but you know, a lot of it's just we'll try to bring some interesting subject matter, et cetera, to this show. So I will share with you that at the time of us filming this, I was coming back from a trip where I'd been to Ohio. So that's my home roots. Drove back, Vera and I did, went to a nephew's wedding, saw my sisters, our family, saw my kids, grandkids, granddogs, grandcats.
Because they count.
They all. Oh my gosh, I got more. I think there's as many creatures as there are people. But a lot of fun and good seeing them, but just it's amazing to be able to drive across this country and the beauty and just seeing the lush green hills and mountains, because we went from Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, came back through Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, and just, oh, we're so lucky compared to what they have out in the West.
Oh, yeah.
Forest fires, etc. Just God, please keep these forests around us safe. But we had a great drive. Any travel plans that you and your husband have this summer?
Well, we just came back from a motorcycle trip. So my husband has a Harley, and him and I took a trip down to the Outer Banks, kind of roughing it a little bit on just the bike, which really kind of puts in perspective just bringing what you need.
Yeah,
Because it's like, if it can't fit in the saddlebags, you're not bringing it. So we just did that 2 weeks ago, and that was really fun. That was kind of our latest trip of just him and I, per se. So
very fun.
yeah.
So I at least must have some saddlebags or something.
It does. 2 on the back, 2 on the side, and then he has like a luggage rack on the back. So it fits a lot. It kind of gets you creative of, okay, how do we like stack these things? Because we went to the outlet malls down there, and my husband's like, if it doesn't fit on the bike, you can't bring it. I'm like, I can be strategic. We can move it around.
Sounds like he's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah. And I made it work. So
You did. So you found some room, and
yeah.
it's amazing. You know, Vera and I we'll try to do the same thing. We go to Europe. We'll be smart in packing, and it's amazing what you can get by on.
Sure, yeah.
But even though we did that and went and downsized our suitcase, one of them we brought, we still get things, but we still make it fit.
Right.
You just
Yeah,
somehow.
you gotta get creative.
Yeah. So
For
well,
sure.
fun. Well, that's a neat experience.
Yeah.
So I'm sure residents will be asking more about that.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, you'll have a Harley Davidson dress party.
Well, my husband's trying to convince me to get a Harley, but I like just being, passenger. I like just enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun.
Fantastic. Well, that's neat. Well, that's a good trip. And I'm sure you got parents, grandparents who love taking care of Bucky and Clint.
Oh my goodness, yes, for sure. I mean, I think right now if we asked Clint to go live with my mom permanently, he would say, see y'all later. Like, he wouldn't even question it.
Yeah.
But that's always good. I was always so spoiled by my grandparents too. So it's a unique relationship. It's special for sure.
Well, I think all residents relate to this, that parents, grandparents and great-grandparents, it's our right privilege to spoil.
Oh, yes.
Because eventually we can't send them home.
Yeah, and then we have to undo all of the work.
That's
you
right.
know?
So that's the reality. Real
Yes.
fine. Well, I know that a lot of progression of programs and activities. I think the residents are just thrilled. With you being here, there will be a lot of continuity. And I know that's comfort you have, comfort I have. So as we get going, anything that you want to reflect on that's happened recently, or things you want to talk about this coming week?
Well, I'm just getting settled into my new role, trying to get a few more things organized, specifically with meeting with those other levels of care and making sure all of our programming really aligns and we're all helping each other. That's a big thing that I've been working on this week, is just trying to make sure our team is talking is the biggest thing. So that's been a really good thing, and positive feedback has already kind of come from that, so that's great. The backpacks have been a big thing we've been working on lately, helping team members in need, and residents have been so amazing and helpful with that process. So just, getting in the groove and trying to, try to make things better is my goal.
So did I hear last week you all were packing like 72 backpacks?
72.
Wow. So that's a pretty amazing, I can't use any other word but ministry.
Yeah.
It's service, it's helping. And, for our team members whose children and or some, in some instances it was grandchildren. We try to preface it by saying in need. We didn't do a financial qualifier. We weren't going down too far on that pathway. Just, you can almost say anyone can use some help. Yes, some need it more than others, but I think the generosity, those of us who donated, thank you, and likewise, just putting them together. So.
And it was
cool.
very sweet to see a lot of the teachers, retared teachers, came and helped resident-wise.
Yeah.
And then, seeing the different school supplies would take them back to, oh, I remember a story with this. And that was really sweet to witness. Just kind of took them down memory lane, too, with those school supplies. So.
Yeah. When I was visiting with my grandchildren, they're going to be 11th, 9th, and 6th grade this year, at least with this family, this one group. And in Ohio, they start school this week.
Oh, wow.
So while the residents are seeing this, they are literally back into school.
Back into the swing of things. Wow.
So it's there, and they're, in fact, this Friday night will be the first football game for them. My one granddaughter is cheerleading.
Oh.
So here she's a freshman. The way they have things set up, she's cheerleading at a varsity game.
Wow.
So just amazing the ages and how they combine, and it's sort of a creative how they've approached it. They sort of have like a split squad between JV and varsity, and they go back and forth. So it's that's what they're doing. So yeah, school is in the air, but you don't have to worry about it quite yet.
Well, I mean, Clint is in preschool, so we had this whole big list of school supplies that we went and got
Really?
2 weekends ago. Yeah, I mean, they take it very serious. I was telling a resident, I had never seen anti-roll crayons before. They're triangular crayons.
Yeah.
I couldn't find them anywhere. I had to order them online.
So then, Grabby knows. Apparently, they've determined it's still
It's
ergonomically
It's
okay.
supposed to be good for their grip, but I was thinking the teachers just must not want to be chasing these off the table constantly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a new one. But yeah, we're getting in the swing with school too. So it's that time of year.
Yeah, very fun. Well, again, appreciate the residents who helped volunteer putting those backpacks together. Thank you for those making the donations. We can still receive funds. I'm sure that we haven't covered it yet, but we are appreciative of that. It's just a very nice, again, ministry gift, social accountability, and helping our own team members. So neat project. So very nice. So that's there. That's marking the school year. Any events, programs that you want to highlight?
Yeah, so I mean, we are halfway through August here. We've got the Iron Chef competition this week. That's a big deal for sure. How many years has that been happening?
Well, we've done it, this will be the third time.
Okay.
So the first two, we sort of had it here within the building, and we had two different teams, both of which were myself and some of our chefs and cooks competing against Jonathan Cook, our CEO. Well, this year we've got Lakewood coming to us with their executive chef team and their executive director. And so if you are watching this after Tuesday, you'll know the winner. If it's Monday or Tuesday, we're still waiting. And again, we apologize for, I know it's very popular. A lot of residents signing up, but we really had to honor the fact that in that room, how many they could bring down. And I think it was 20 residents. So we could have offered, and we probably did, to go pick up some, but that's how many. So we have 20 versus 20 voting, 40 in the room, but I think Bruce and others have been trying to set up some other ways for people to enjoy the food and the tasting, so.
That would be nice.
So that will be fun, and then we'll see who has bragging rights for the next year.
I know, for sure. I mean, we already had our water volleyball competition where Lakewood didn't show up, so if we win this, I mean.
Then we can call ourselves 2-0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Very fun.
So I know residents are very excited for that. A couple of other exciting things we have coming up more entertainment-wise. We have Party on the Patio. That's on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Weather permitting, we'll try that outside this time. I think the last time we had it was we had one of those summer showers and had to move everything indoors. So we'll have a backup plan for that. But hopefully we can kind of end the summer outside one last time.
Okay.
Two other entertainments this week too. We have our last Music Under the Stars. That's at the Fort Monroe. We've been doing those a lot throughout the summer. So this will be the final one that they're doing. And then Good Shot Judy is like a big jazz band that's going to be down in downtown Hampton on Friday, 6 p.m. Yeah.
So some trips away, got all the other things. Of course, the fitness continues.
Yes.
So the fitness choices are there, and just hopefully a lot of things for you to choose from. You know, the movies are happening, and I think we're very pleased about all the programs. Always going to be curious and anxious to hear something new that you've thought of or the team has thought of.
We have something in the works for September. We're trying to utilize those courtyards a little bit more with those nice big gazebos. So we're trying to
Good.
get creative with that. Isaiah and I are still working through trying to come up with something catchy to name it.
Yeah.
So
Something else that maybe we could do sometime to foster the use of those courtyards is if we ever have a resident competition type of event, we could give them, or they could win, a picnic for X number, where we would grill out, maybe myself or the
Okay.
chef would grill out fish, steaks, whatever. But it would prompt some use.
Sure. Okay.
So that's out there.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that we'll have to investigate, now that you're also, and again, I'll pace it because I know you want to get just your feet underground,
Yeah.
et cetera. But how do we create some interesting gift cards that could be used for the salon,
Okay.
could be used for, and we may even sell them in packages that sons or daughters could buy them and give them to mom or dad, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And if they buy X number, there may be a discount.
Sure.
So something to think about, and we just have to package that, maybe
Okay.
possible through our POS system, but I'm certain Brenda would sell them.
I think she can sell anything.
Yeah, but more importantly, it could be a nice way for some residents who have not met Cheryl. She's a delightful stylist, and residents are really raving about her. Daphne,
Yes.
the nail technician,
technician,
understand she's doing a fine job.
Mhm.
And you've got Helen, and then we're crossing our fingers for our beloved massage therapist to come back.
I know.
So with Rose's accident, injury, getting her back in for not just massage, but obviously for yoga
Yoga as well, yeah.
and whatever else she does. It's like there's
I
always
know.
something else.
She's so involved here with her brother living here as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's definitely a staple.
Yeah. So that's something that again we'll factor in because gift cards done it in another community. I did it Friendship Village of Schaumburg. It really went well, and we had them actually integrated into our point of sale system. So something to explore.
For sure, with the holidays
Yeah.
coming up.
Could do. So there. So we've got some nice events. I like hearing about the party on the patio. Those are neat things going outside.
Yes.
And the other thing that we're going to start talking a little bit about is, what's going to be that next step trying to get Gloucester Commons progressing. That's that outdoor area that we're wanting to get the walkway in. Still waiting to see. We're doing this changing of all of your lock systems, at least for those in the in-house, the 212 apartments, and assisted living. But then we're also looking at this Gloucester Commons, and it may be opportunistic this fall to get something done. So we're looking at that, and I say fall, we're still summer, I realize that. And we have a nice water feature that will be added to it, thankfully to it, a donation. So it's not out of our minds, we just had to write for the right sequencing and what can happen. And these were available capital dollars. This has nothing to do with paying for salaries or food. It has a purpose, and we spend it or not. So that's what we're trying to do. Do the best we can for the Chesapeake and improving everything. So more to come there.
But think of all the programming opportunities out there.
Well, see, then what you have to be thinking about is what else? Do we go ahead and put next year in the pavilion? Do we do the event lawn? Do we do the pickleball court?
Right.
So there's a lot of interesting things, and then if we do the event pavilion, what type of concerts do we have out there, or events or programs?
Yeah.
And the way it was laid out, it's close to the main buildings
Right.
that not only can independent residents get to it easily,
Sure.
handicapped accessible, but even assisted living residents could get to that area.
Definitely.
So
That would be great.
you have to think through that and then decipher, do we do the putting green up there and
Oh, right.
incorporate it into the lawn? So a lot of possibilities.
Very nice.
Yep.
It's exciting.
So anyways, I think the residents clearly said to us, and even the Chesapeake Club, this goes back probably the last year and a half, 2 years, what else can we do outdoors that can be still comfortable, shaded, etc. So that'll be our next
Yes.
big
It's
evolution
exciting.
here. Yeah. So that's into the mid part of August. Labor Day will be out there, so we'll be talking about that in no time.
And then the big holidays are coming up.
Yeah, And I think we've already planted the seed. We've got to get good old Christmas at the Chesapeake wrapped up.
Oh yes, that is on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Already start with that because
Yeah.
it'll be here before you know it, which is crazy.
Yeah. And I think as in the past we've said to residents, you want to get involved in a club or start something great.
Mm-hmm.
If any of the things that you hear us talking about, and whether it's Christmas at the Chesapeake or these outdoor opportunities, something you have a passion for, let us know. There may be some way we can connect you or involve you, because anytime we can bring residents into things, it just makes it better.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's merely a committee that's existing. I appreciate that through resident council, but if you have an interest of helping in any way, let us know.
And it's always neat to see those resident clubs that just start, like Mr. Napier with his writing club.
Yeah,
And to have that passion behind it, I think that's awesome.
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Real fine. So, how are we doing? Are we covering the topics of the moment? Or did you
think
have some
so.
facts that you were gonna share as a
I
trivia?
did pull up just because I still think about that brain fitness.
Okay,
There's a couple of interesting August facts here that I came up with. Nothing too interesting about the number 109. I did look that up first.
okay,
It's an atomic number. That was about all that was exciting.
okay.
So some interesting things about August that maybe you didn't know, because I didn't know them. Did you know that August was once the 6th month of the year? Wasn't always the 8th. That kind of came later. 700 BC, it was changed when they added January and February.
Okay.
So kind of interesting that it used to come at the beginning of the year
Yes.
versus kind of the end of summer.
Mhm.
August has also changed its number of days multiple times. It wasn't until Julius Caesar introduced the Julian calendar that it was left to 31 days. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that, as far as the August month goes, is in the standard year there is no other month that begins on the same day of the week as August. That's kind of interesting.
It always begins on the same day of the week.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
So that
I went
means,
back and checked because I was like,
so,
that can't be.
So if you were born on the 1st,
It's almost like a leap year situation.
Yeah, okay, so 5th. So the 5th of August is always a Friday.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering that because that's the day my nephew was married, and that's the only date on my mind right now. So
Isn't that interesting?
that one you
I
got
had to
me.
look back because I was
Yeah.
like, this cannot be. But yeah.
It reminds me of this card trick I used to do. I'm really off subject here, but I'll go with it for the moment. Because it's one of those things that, you pick a card,
Mm-hmm.
you put it back in, and then no matter wherever it goes, it doesn't matter. I'm going to make sure it's like the 4th card.
So you know where.
Okay? But then you start doing this. No, you don't even have to do that. You put it in where you want to. I do this, and you tell me what rows it in. You say, well, it's in this row, 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep pushing that in, and every time you do it, it slowly moves towards the center card. So after like 4 times of doing this, I bet you're, and then what I can do is I think what you do, you can put the card back in, and with the 3 rows of 7, it's like the 11th card. I can just count out cards, flip over the 11th one, and it's your card.
Oh wow.
And it mathematically works out that way. It's not a sleight of hand.
Right.
So again, mathematically, it always
It
works out.
works.
All right, so August is your terrible analogy, but
Right.
that's
Oh
interesting
my
about
goodness.
culture. So that's, wow. See,
I
I think it's
know.
sort of fun that your birthday moves around because
Right.
it's exciting. Oh my gosh, my birthday is on a Friday,
Yeah.
and I gotta have a nice birthday weekend.
Right. But if
People
it's
in
always on a
August.
Wednesday in the middle of the month, that's
Do you have any family members born in August?
no. So I had like no
I
real
don't
reference
either.
of Isn't that crazy?
Now my sister's had a bunch of her kids born in August. I wonder if she realizes
Double
that.
check.
Yeah.
Check out.
Okay. Well, if there's an exception to this, they'll
Let us know.
let you know. They will.
They for sure will.
Okay. All right. Well, fun trivia. Anything
Yeah,
else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, you may have a new section here where you have to always have some curious question.
Okay.
The other thing you can do is you can always stump them. You can put a question out there
Right.
and then let them turn in the answer.
And see who's actually watching too.
That's right. And then
I
that
like
could be one of these little incentives because
Yeah.
people like to win, and clearly we have a lot of smart viewers.
I
So-
like that. We might run with that.
Yep,
I
all
like that a lot.
possible. Good. Alrighty. Well,
Awesome.
we will continue to enrich this program, look for your ideas. I said this 109 episodes again, I'm going to say it again. If ever there's a resident who would like to be a part of this, perhaps even you could be our strolling interviewer and film segments, and then we merely clip it onto this, but it would be your segment of the show. That's possible.
That would be nice.
So a lot of things exist, but again, it's just back to all of our creativity and energy. So I guess on behalf of Candace and I, we have completed a show.
Yay,
Congratulations,
I'm
way to go.
glad.
And yes, we will improve our technology, and yes, thank you for allowing our volumes to go up and down, but again, just good to be with you. Have a great week and take care.
See you later.